Alright guys, it's time for part 2 of the 2 decks of Mystical Magus. Since the set is about to come out this week and my shop got the boxes early, it's about time I show you guys the Magus deck profile that I have. Now, this is probably going to be a lot different than most other people's builds. Like most people will probably run Lozen Magus as their starter. For me, I decided I'm just going to try this starter out. I am one perfect guard short of this deck, so I plan on getting that one early, and I may get one more Briolette Magus. I have plenty of the 10k attackers and everything else. So let's get started on the deck build. I first start off with my starter. It's Little Witch Lulu. Her ability is basically for Soulless, but I use her just because I want to get that draw power, as well as her being a decent 5k booster that stays on the field, so I can easily put her next to a 12k attacker and it'll easily become a 17k boost, 17k attack. Really easy to run, really easy to play out. Next I run 4 of the break rides, the new break rides for Oracle Think Tanks. Hexagonal Magnus, what she does is limit break 4 when an OTT unit rides on top of her. You can check the top 3 cards of your deck, take one, and then put the other 2 at the top of your deck in any order. She works out really well for that whole stacking, as well as preparing yourself for another grade 3 actually that helps out this deck a lot. Pentagonal Magus. I was really happy when Bushiroad announced that this was going to be the promo because it makes a Magus deck more viable and easier to build, because we had no clue when we were going to get this card. Anyway, what she does is limit break 4. Whenever this unit is going to declare an attack, you declare the top card of your deck, and if the card is correct, it gains 5k 1 crit. So these 2 cards tend to work together really well for that 26 2 crit. But you can also continue that whole thing as long as you just ride on top, continuous break rides, and then after like the second or third one you ride her, and then basically call the top card by basically checking top 3 and taking. Next I run for the 12k attackers and 4 of the Stellar Magus. Her ability is, it's no special counterblast, and anyway, her ability is when this unit attack hits and you have an Oracle Think Tank Vanguard, you basically pay the cost, and if you do, you declare the top card of your deck, and if it's right, you add it to your hand. If it's not, you put it back and you unflip 1 damage. So it's basically a free cost to add one. So it's really good. I like that. Next I run 3 Briolette Magus. I might run 4 of her. Her ability is you Soul Blast 1, you draw 1, and you put her back at the top of your deck. So basically that's a guaranteed declare of the card actually. So I may run 4 of her actually, just because her effect is pretty damn good. Next I run 3 Rippus Magus. I may run 4 of her just because there's not really a lot of decent Magus support. Next I run 3 Circle Magus. I may go back to 4 on this one. Her ability is basically you check the top card and that's it. You don't put it at the top or bottom. It's basically there to give her support actually. I know she's a decent 7k booster. Next I run 3 of the Crescent Magus. Her ability is you declare the top card and she becomes a 9k booster. So she's very helpful with her because this becomes a 21k attacker. Instead of the 18 and 19k attackers, it's a 21k, which is really good actually for this deck. Next I run only 3 of the perfect guards. I plan on getting 1 more. I'm still going to experiment with this deck to see how well it works. I may just switch 1 her out for her and 1 of each for these 2, so that way it's all Magus and then her for her. It all depends. Next I run my two Weather Girl Milks. It's basically a 25k attacker that just not 25k attacker, a 10k booster, as long as you have 4 more cards in your hand. This deck is pretty good about having cards in your hand, so I really like that whole aspect of it. Now the main problem with this deck. This deck only has like 1 Magus trigger in it, and it's a heal trigger, sadly. Well, not really, but you can only run 4 of a heal trigger, so So Mystical Magus is basically the Magus heal trigger. It doesn't have a crit trigger, so I'm pretty much going to run the standard 4 heal, 8 crit, basically the psychic prayers, and 4 draws. Now, like I said, I may change this deck up to having no Soulless idea and just going with 4 Briolets, 4 Tetras, 2 of her, none of her, and 1 of her, and 1 Crescent. It's still up in the air on whether I want to try it out like that or just leave it as is. But I don't mind hearing your input about it, anything that can help out this deck, because this deck is a lot of fun with whole guessing and then making your opponent waste perfect guards on a Vanguard attack like always. Anyway, that's it for the 2-part special. It's not really a special, but I don't know if I'm going to do the other 2 extra boosters for Black Cougar and the grade 4 Kagero. We'll see. It all depends. They're both going to be excellent boosters, extra boosters in their own right. I may buy just 2 boxes of each and see what happens. And that's about it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.